Pictures on location in New York takes a look at the suspense thriller Aliens, the sequel to Ridley Scott's 1979 horror classic Alien. After 50 years of drifting in space in hypersleep, Sigourney Weaver, returning as Ripley, is persuaded to return to face her living nightmare as advisor to a group of combat Marines who set out to destroy the aliens who have wiped out the colonists who occupied the planet Acheron. Brian Linehan talks with the stars of Aliens. Sigourney Weaver, who made her film debut in Alien, the role that brought her international acclaim. Michael Biehn, who plays the level-headed Corporal Hicks, and with director and screenwriter James Cameron, best known for directing The Terminator. City Lights returns with Aliens right after this.
Okay? Just tell me one thing, Burke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan. You have my word on it.
All right, I'm in.
Now, I sit in front of a director, a writer, a man who's put a major part of his life so far into motion pictures. I think it's an extraordinary achievement, and I compliment you on the entertainment value of what Aliens gives us as moviegoers.
Thank you. That's a very good compliment. I like the fact that you said it's entertainment, because that's what we went for, not some sort of hyperbole of visual grossness or what people might expect to try and go beyond the first film. We just decided to back off and say we're going to try to do a crackling good yarn, well told, hopefully.
Late 78, you flew to London. You tested for Ridley Scott. You went home to New York. Alan Ladd Jr. looked at your tests, the scenes you had done, called in all the secretaries in the office because he felt Sigourney Weaver as Ripley was too hard. Did the secretaries like what you had done on the screen, and did they like you? Is that true, Sigourney?
Yes, that is true. He didn't think I was too hard, but he wanted to, I think he wanted to make, they were always worried, as they are always worried when you play a woman with some kind of brains, that you won't be sympathetic enough. So he had the women come in who worked in the studio and just say, "Do you like her?" And they said, "Yeah, we really like her." So they got me the part, you know. And I think actually the men who make movies are much more worried about that kind of thing than the normal public, and certainly the women who are moviegoers.
Were you really sitting at home in New York in your apartment playing a Lena Horne recording and listening to I've Got the World on a String when the phone rang?
Yes. And Ridley Scott was on the phone and he said, "I'm going to play Ripley." And I said, "Good, I'll direct the picture."
Sigourney Weaver is extraordinary as an heroic woman. I mean, everything she does one expects. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a man who has worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
Another heroic figure.
Yes, and of course Michael Biehn.
Slightly larger than life.
That's true.
Michael, yeah.
Michael Biehn, who is your Corporal Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
And as a filmmaker, you had a unique situation because there you were in London, in principal photography, with an actor by the name of James Remar. And what is known in the entertainment industry as artistic differences.
Yes, creative differences.
Now, the telephone rang at Michael Biehn's, and he was told he had the role of Hicks. There was a reluctance on his part because he was afraid the character resembled the one he had played for you in The Terminator.
That's, well, you see, this, his reluctance was identical to our reluctance in initially casting him, which is that there were similarities in the character and that we thought he's just going to look like the same guy. And I wish that Michael and I had had the conversation before we cast originally, because he had some ideas, and then his ideas triggered off my ideas, and we were able to fashion Hicks into a different person. And I have to say that I can't visualize anybody else in the part now. He made it his own, and that's a good tribute to him as an actor. Because now we've worked together on 2 films, and he's done the same thing in both, in the sense that he's been really good and very intense on the screen, but it's been in different ways.
How long's it been since you got any sleep? 24 hours?
Hicks, I'm not going to end up like those others. You'll take care of it, won't you?
If it comes to that, I'll do us both. Listen, let's just make sure it doesn't come to that. All right? Hey, I want to introduce you to a personal friend of mine. This is an M41A pulse rifle, 10 millimeter, an over and under 30 millimeter pump action grenade launcher. Feel the weight.
Okay, what do I do?
Okay, pull it in tight here. All right. Lean into it. All right, now we'll kick some. All right, when the counter reads 0 here, you...
I press this up?
That's right. And get another one in quick. Slap it in hard.
Right.
And you're ready to rock and roll.
What's this?
That's a grenade launcher. I don't think you want to mess with that.
You started this. Show me everything. I can handle myself.
Yeah, I noticed.
When you arrived in London to do Aliens, you and Jim Cameron had a conversation because you were apprehensive about the fact that the character dramatically was similar to the character in The Terminator.
Yeah.
How did you arrive at making him distinctive so that there wasn't a great similarity dramatically in the 2 men?
Well, I think we just tried to find the more human elements of Hicks and tried to take away some of the... just try to make him a little bit more likable, a little bit more human, and they were both fighters from the future. And I guess the characters weren't that much the same, but they were both fighters from the future. They were both men of few words, but of action. And I think we tried to find a sense of humor in the guy and a likability in the guy, in a sense that he could, like other people around him.
Recently, Newsweek magazine did a very interesting story about actresses, and you were one of the 5 actresses who was complimented in particular for your work, your intelligence, your beauty. And you made a remark to Newsweek saying, the line was something like, people regard you as very intelligent, very beautiful, and you said, wait until they see Aliens, I look like Stallone.
Did I say that? Well, I by the end, I mean, there is a sort of physical I used to make fun of myself on the set and say that I turned into Rambolina. And since I really, I haven't seen the picture, but I don't think I'm a big Rambo. I mean, it's just funny to me after being trained in the classics that suddenly I'm turning into a gun-toting, heroine. It just...
City Lights continues with Aliens right after this.